Hello, I am Metalis from Metalis Games. I am an IT specialist and work hard towards making IT easier for people. I stream on Twitch semi-regularly, and today I'm going to show you how to install, set up, and get going with OBS, the open source broadcasting software. Today, we're going to learn how to install OBS from scratch, log into Twitch, set up a scene so you can play video games on it, set up audio for Twitch, set up an overlay, and optimize stream settings for streaming. So first things first, you're going to want to load up your favorite browser. I'm going to be using Firefox for today. And we will go to obsproject.com. So that'll be obsproject.com. That'll bring you here. Now we will go into Windows, or the download for Windows. If you have Linux or Mac, then you download for that. I've already downloaded it, so I'm not going to waste time with that. I'm just going to go down here to my downloads folder and install from scratch. Once you start the installer, you'll click yes. Just double click to start the installer. Then we'll click next, next, install. Now, this may take a little bit of time on your computer. It depends on how fast your CPU and your RAM is, pretty much. The graphics card doesn't come into play until after you've installed it, so you don't have to worry about that too much. Okay, now that it's been installed, you just click to make sure, or you check this to make sure that it's checked. Click Finish to launch OBS. Now today, I've just showed you how to install from scratch. We're going to optimize for streaming for the purpose of being able to stream on Twitch. We'll click Next. Click Next. And then here you'll select Twitch as your service and click Connect. So I will be using a secondary account. And you're going to have to verify your account. I'm going to go ahead and do that right quick on my computer here. Okay, now that we're authenticated and everything, we can go ahead and prefer hardware encoding or not. If you have a crappy GPU, you're going to want to uncheck that for now. But for my purposes, I have a 3080, so I'm going to keep it checked. And then you can test your bandwidth or set it manually. I'm just going to let it test it automatically. So then we click Next. Now what this will do is run a bandwidth test on your internet speeds to make sure that you were able to stream at proper bit rate at a proper speed online and everything like that. So I recommend letting it go ahead and do its thing. That way you can actually get the best out of your performance from the box. You know, from the start. It should be almost done. It says 100%, that doesn't mean it's completely done. There we go. Now we will go ahead and apply settings. Close this. Now what I recommend doing is full screening the application. Drag your stream chat over here to the side. We'll go ahead and click the Xbox there for that. And then drag this off to this side. Now once you get close to the edge of the screen, it'll show where you're going to have it getting it installed at and moved to. So I usually make that side a little bit bigger and this side a lot bigger. That way it's just basically showing mostly screen in the middle instead of having so much edge to it. Now what we need to do after we've logged into Twitch and everything is we need to set up a scene. So to set up a scene, you should start off with a default scene. And basically what you do with that is you will click the plus button over here where it says add source. And we are going to want to input or add output capture for audio. I recommend just leaving it the same name or putting desktop audio. I usually do desktop audio. I keep trying to type on the wrong keyboard. Oh, okay. Well then, just make it desktop. Sounds. Okay. And you can select which output you want. For my purpose here today, I'm just going to leave it on default because that's just basically going to pick the default output that you have, like your speakers or your headset. If you have a headset, I recommend setting it to your headphones. That way, whatever you hear in your headset is what you hear through OBS. Otherwise, I recommend just leaving it on default. And now that we have that, you'll see over here it says desktop audio and desktop sounds. What we're going to do is go up here and go to settings. That way we don't have desktop audio on every single scene. We're going to click audio and change this from default to disabled. And then apply and click OK. Now the reason that I had you do that is because if you don't, then whenever you're in your break screen, your starting soon screen, whatever screen that you have other than that, it's going to pick up your desktop audio. So the way that we've got it set up now, it's just going to pick up your desktop audio in this scene. So now we're going to take a display capture. Well, I'm going to go with game capture. Display capture will capture everything on the screen that you select. Game capture just selects whatever the game is. So I recommend just leaving that as game capture, the way you know what it is. Click OK. And then we're going to select this and go to specific window, capture specific window. I have Firefox open. It's not going to register Firefox just yet in there because I'm not doing anything special on Firefox. Everything else you can leave the same. If you're experiencing issues, you can always tweak some of these settings to make it work to your standards. So now you'll notice that up here, whenever I have game capture selected, it says window. So what you'll do to select your game is you'll click up here in the window option and click the window that you want to capture. So now we've got your game capture and your sounds for your audio. Let's set up an overlay. So to set up an overlay, I highly recommend that you check out Stream Elements or Lumia Stream. Both of which will do the trick. It's just one's a little bit less complicated, Stream Elements being less complicated. So we're going to go to streamelements.com. And I highly recommend just logging in with your Twitch account. It's a lot easier than making a separate signed up account for this. So again, I'm going to use my secondary account. I typed in my password incorrectly. And I'm going to have to verify again right quick. This is for your security purpose. It's not something to be too upset about. And each code will be different each time that you log in. So I'm going to authorize this. And what that'll do is give me 30 days to where I can just click on the login button and it'll automatically log me in. I'm going to go ahead and ignore that for the moment so we can get you started on an overlay. Now, to get an overlay, you go to Streaming Tools and Overlays. I recommend checking out the gallery for your overlays first, because they have some really nice overlays for free in the gallery. All you have to do is pick one, and it shows you what everything's going to look like here. And it shows you everything about it. This is basically an Apex Legends one. For today's purpose, I'm going to go ahead and click Create Overlay with it. And it'll give you all of these streamelements.com overlay links for browser sources. I'm going to show you what to do with those later. First, we're going to go to My Overlays. Now, this will be your game overlay because it's just got a webcam off to the side and mostly everything that you need to go with that. So we're going to click Edit on this. I'm going to click Maybe Later because I already know how to do this. You can go ahead and click Start Tour so you can understand better. Now, each of these separate pieces is layered like a cake. So if you have problems finding one, you just click it and then look where it's highlighted over here. See, it says Top Tip Text. So if I make that go away, you can see where it says Top Tip goes from being lit up to being invisible. So we're going to go ahead and turn off most of this stuff because for now you won't have any of this, but we will leave it in the setup here so you can check it whenever you actually have those. Now this says latest cheer amount. That's your tips. This will be cheers. Oh, that's also tips. This is cheers. Yeah, that's cheers. And then subscriber count. Find the subscriber. There's sub count here. And then count will be that. There we go. Okay, so you'll notice that everything here looks like it's kind of invisible. You can see through it. Now down here, it's only got one camera frame. Some of these have multiple camera frames. It's best to find a camera frame that fits your needs. You can always bring one in later. Like if I click this and then click settings, it'll let me change the image, which means you can bring any single overlay frame or frame overlay for your camera into here. So what we're going to do is we're going to click name here and go to settings and see what it says. It just says name. Okay. So that's going to show your name somewhere on the screen. We're going to turn off the Instagram and Twitter stuff because we don't have those set up yet for the purpose of this video. All right, so now you've got a basic overlay and we're going to save it the way it is. I'm going to turn off the webcam frame because I don't have a webcam hooked up to this computer, and I'm going to click save and then we'll click copy overlay, and this is exactly how your overlay is going to look in OBS. It's pretty simple. It's just got the bar on the top for now. And now if we click emulate, you go to follower event, you can go over here. See that it says following there. Let's see. So if I click follow event here again, over here it should pop up here. See, that's where it says your new follower is. It says it up here on there. The alert box, if you click the settings here, will allow you to change. Oh, that's the wrong thing. We need to go to the alert box menu. Alert box. Click here. That'll allow you to change the video that pops up for any of your follows. You can change the video to it. You can set it as a static image. For today's purposes, we're just going to leave it the way it is. But you can do this for each and every single one of these things. You can even set up the purchase alerts for your merch store if you use the Stream Elements merch store. That's why I recommend Stream Elements. It has its own merch store, and Linear Stream does not. Streamlabs does the same exact thing, so it's pretty close to this. But Streamlabs has you build your overlay in Streamlabs instead of on a website. This allows you to drag and drop it anywhere you need it to be. So we're going to go ahead and save again, and I'm going to click Copy Overlay URL. It'll be up here. It says chain. And then we're going to open OBS again. Click here on the plus button. Click browser for browser source. We're going to name this overlay. And we'll click OK. Now what we do is we paste our overlay key, which is the URL that we copied earlier in there, and we're going to set it for the canvas size. So for canvas size on a regular computer, you'll go 1920 by 1080. That is 1080p. And we will refresh current cache. Click OK. And what that'll do is it should bring up our overlay in OBS. Now you see we have our overlay here. If I make any changes on the website here, like for instance, if I click follow event now and go back into OBS, you'll see that it's right there. And then it'll go away once it's done. So now we've set up an overlay and we've got the game capture set up. You always want to have the overlay on top of most of your stuff, except for your alert box if you have an alert box set up separately. But you want your overlay on top of your game, and you want it on top of your webcam. Now let's go ahead and optimize for streaming purposes here. We will go to output, or wait, no, we go to output. And we will click over here and click advanced. And the reason why we'll click advanced is to change the encoder. Now, X264 is typically a option that you set up for your CPU to actually record with. Both of these options are the same, but if you have an NVIDIA card, you'll have an option called NVENC, which will allow you to use your hardware encoder. H264 is a hardware encoder or software encoder, which means it'll use your CPU. X264 means that it'll use your CPU's built-in graphics. So for keyframe, I recommend leaving 0. We'll go with controlled bitrate. You don't need anything more than 2500 bitrate, 2500 kbps, because Twitch doesn't allow more than that. We'll go ahead and leave all the settings on default and click apply. And at this point, you should be pretty well set up to go. Now in video here, I highly recommend turning it down to 1280 by 720 because you don't need anything bigger than that unless you're streaming something extremely high quality. And your frame per second, nobody's going to notice the difference between 60 and 30 on a stream. So just keep that in mind. Okay, so we've got it set up now. Whenever you want to change your game, you just click Game Capture and click your window over here and select the window you want to select. So I'm going to open like Notepad. And this, once we select off of it and come back to it, should give me the option to select Notepad as my option here. Now what that'll do is once I select Notepad, you'll see that it should pop up in our option there. But it should be popping up in here. I think the only reason it's not is because I don't have it maximized or something. But you get the drift. That's how you set it up. You will select your window here, and that'll capture the whole window. If you're ever having problems with capturing the window, we will go with Display Capture. And we'll name it Display Capture. And what this will do is it'll select your main monitor here as your display. And I leave that on automatic. What that'll do is it'll make your entire computer show, well, your entire desktop. And why this comes into play, why this becomes a major thing, is because whenever you are streaming a game that does not allow game capture, then you can turn off game capture here, which will be over the display capture in the setup here, because if you don't have these under your overlay won't show up. But if your display capture is down here and you have it set to the monitor that you want to play on, then you can load up literally anything. I'll show you. Yeah, it's got that white box back there that says hello over here. You can load up literally anything and it'll just capture it. No problems, no questions asked. It'll just capture it and output it. And then whenever you want to start streaming, all you have to do is click Start Streaming here. I'm not going to for today's purpose because I don't want to stream on my secondary account just yet. That's going to be in later videos. Your chat is over here. Your chat will be over here. It shows up to everybody whenever you type in there. And I think that will conclude today's video. If you're going to select a game, you'll just type the title in here for whatever you want the game to be, like, hey, I'm playing Soul Calibur 6. And then you'll change your category down here to say Soul Calibur 6. And then you'll click Done. And that will upload all the information to Twitch to let them know this is the game you'll be playing. It'll say the stream info updated successfully at the top, and that means that you're good to go. Then you just click Start Streaming, and away you go. Now, what I highly recommend setting up as well is a Be Right Back screen. I'm going to type BRB. What I did was I clicked the plus sign here and then typed in BRB as my name. And then we're going to go back to our stream elements. And we have a Be Right Back screen already set up here. This is why I like stream elements so much with the custom overlays and stuff, is we can literally just take this, turn off the features we don't want, and then click the copy overlay button. And we'll go in here and we'll click the plus button under sources, go to browsers, Be Right Back. And then we'll click OK. So we'll go with Be Right Back overlay. Because Be Right Back is already a scene, it will not let you type a source's name as a scene. And then we will go ahead and paste that in there. 1920 by 1080. And we will click OK. Now what that should do is load up that Be Right Back screen. If it doesn't, you can right click, go to Properties, scroll all the way to the bottom and click Refresh Cache at Current Page. And what we're going to do is we're going to save this, and that should fix it. So whenever we click Scene, it'll bring up this scene. Whenever we click Be Right Back, it should bring up our overlay for Be Right Back. I'm going to turn this off, turn this back on. So as you can tell, I'm experiencing some technical difficulties with the Be Right Back screen. There it goes. It finally loaded. So sometimes it takes a little bit to load in the first time. Past that, you can just click and it'll go to it. Now, I also highly recommend that you get yourself set up with a starting soon screen. So we'll go to edit on this starting soon screen. You can tell it's starting soon here. And now what we do is we save this, take the overlay URL, and then we will click the plus button on here, name it starting soon screen, click OK, click the plus button over here, go to browser, or browser source. We will name this starting soon overlay. Now we just click OK. Highlight everything, paste it in there, 1920 by 1080. And you always want to set your canvas size in those where I'm putting 1920 by 1080 to your maximum resolution on your screen. That way it takes up the whole screen and doesn't look grainy. Now we'll give that a second to load up. There's the Be Right Back. We'll go to starting soon screen, which gives us 10 minutes to actually get everything set up to where you can actually post like when you're or where you're going live at, and your Discord settings and stuff to make sure that you actually got your promotions and everything done properly. Now what we're going to do is we're going to set up a just chatting screen just in case you just want to chat with people. Okay, here, go back down here. I'm going to close some of these because it's getting cluttered. We'll click edit on this just chatting screen, which just has a webcam and your chat off to the side. So what we'll do is we'll save this once it loads properly. It's going to take a little bit to load. We click save, click over here to copy the URL, open this, click browser source, and this is where we type starting, well actually this will be our just chatting overlay. Alright, took me a little bit to type out there, but we got it going. Now we're going to highlight all of this. Press Ctrl V to paste. 1920 by 1080. Click OK. We'll give it a second to load. here. And it should load any minute now. Oh, that'll do it. The computer's thinking. Alright, so here we are. Now, next episode, I'm going to show how to do stingers for stinger transitions, because stinger transitions are amazing. So yeah, I will catch you guys in the next one. If you have any questions or concerns, go ahead and type it in the comments down below. Make sure to come follow me on Twitch if you want to see any live gameplay. My Twitch name is Metalis Games. It is METALUS GAMES. So just come see me and take care.